So I'm just playing a clip. I'm gonna let this clip play in the background. It came in from I saw this clip on the Telegraph out of the UK, and so what you're looking at is what's called a Storm Shadow missile, long range missile. Looks like it struck at a Russian facility. I believe. Um, the Russians consider this their territory, um, and so it looks like they have crossed all kinds of red lines. Because now they're striking Russian territory, basically, and assets and territory with UK weapons. So not gonna make this too long. I just thought it was interesting that we're seeing all kinds of red lines being crossed as far as U.S. and UK weapons and NATO weapons being used to strike Russian assets and Russian territory, basically, and nothing being done. Like as far as I know, Putin and the Russians, they said, well, these are red lines that we're not gonna tolerate, and there could possibly be, some type of nuclear retaliation, right? So, um, I don't know. I mean, I just think it's interesting that these red lines are getting crossed. Nothing happened. The only thing I can think, the reason why they haven't struck like London, Berlin, New York, etc., is because they're trying to wait for the elections. So Donald Trump may be America's last hope, which is funny, right? um, I guess maybe Donald Trump. I don't know if Bobby Kennedy or any others would be that different. If their policies would be any different than, let's say, the neocon, neoliberal, neo-Nazis branch. But yeah, it looks like Donald Trump may be the last hope, because he probably, for some reason, he seems reluctant to, him and his faction of people that he probably would bring in, seem reluctant to go full retard and spark a World War III with Russia, spark basically a nuclear apocalypse. Because at this point, you have to ask yourself, why are so many people, why are we still alive? Like you said, wow, with all the threats that Putin was throwing around and all the red lines being crossed, you would have think by now we would have gone full nuclear apocalypse, but we haven't. So yeah, the only thing I can think is that that Putin's trying to wait for the next election. But that said, this would make this the most dangerous period in world history between now and the next American election, because, and then it's riding on something changing. Like it's riding on nothing happening to Trump getting into office, and or somebody like Trump, right? That's anti, war with Russia, and then pulling back from the precipice of destruction. So anyway, yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Well, we have to see like how many, uh, British weapons can be fired. How many English weapons can be fired. At Russian cities and Russian assets, and how many of their troops would they tolerate being killed with American and weapons and NATO weapons and UK, etc., before they start to retaliate. Other than with just verbally retaliate. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But we're moving. Looks like we're moving into the most dangerous time in history from now, probably now into the next 12 months. And so, but I actually, I don't know, just my 2 cents before I go. I think it's going to accelerate. I think they're going to accelerate it. I think they want to. I think they really want to. I think the agenda is, depopulation, and so, I think a world war would be. They think will help depopulate people. So I don't think they're against that. And so, yeah. I think we're gonna see escalations, probably strikes. I think if the attacks intensify inside of Russia, on Russia's border, inside of Russia, on the Russian assets, at a certain point, they're not gonna say anything. They're just gonna start hitting outside of. I think probably what you'll see is something like. Well, there was a psychic and named Cheiro from Ireland, and he said that he predicted that London and Israel would be bombed in World War III, and so I believe him. I mean, like today, some fighting broke out. Well, not fighting, but there was an incident in Syria with U.S. jets and Russian jets in Syria. So that looks like that's heating up over there. And then, they're like I said, with this video, they're striking Russian assets with, long range, British weapons. So, and they're giving them the green light to strike inside of Russia. You got troops coming across the border. So I think London's going to get hit. I think that psychic was right, what he said. It's funny this is happening now because it's starting to look like he was right. That prediction he made back in like 1940, I think 45 or something. It's a link to it on my page. I may even link to it in this video. But yeah, I think I think he's right. I think you're going to see probably London. I think they're going to just go all in. I don't think Putin's plan of trying to make it to the election is not going to work. You know what I mean? I just don't think so. I think you're going to see an acceleration of events. And I think they don't expect him to do it, but they really don't care if he does. Because it's part of a bigger agenda of depopulation. So, whatever happens, they're cool with it, either way. So, yeah, but anyway, that's all I got.